We'll look about how discipline and information retention can be the key to overcoming these obstacles in this video. Find out how gaining complete control over your energy can improve your spirit and change your daily life. Prepare yourself for a voyage of self-discovery that may fundamentally alter the way you live and engage with the world. A life with direction and purpose is supported by discipline, which is more than just the capacity to control. Many of us associate discipline with something inflexible, such as an imposition that robs us of our autonomy. However, true discipline is freeing because it allows us to make intentional decisions about our lives and to move away from distractions that sap our energy and divert us from our goals. It is a quiet power that might not be immediately apparent, but it eventually turns out to be the driving force behind our greatest successes and the fulcrum that keeps us steady during difficult times. Discipline is sometimes mistaken for rigidity, but it is actually a continuous process of decision-making. Rather than succumbing to impulsive desires, decide what is truly important. Like a sharp sword, the transforming power of discipline allows us to focus on what truly matters by slicing through anything that doesn't serve us. One of the most important components on the road to spiritual and personal growth is discipline, which helps us become more self-aware and in line with our values. Here we're talking about cultivating a mindset that enables us to behave in accordance with our true values, rather than merely crossing things off a to-do list or adhering to a rigid timetable. It is a daily, nearly imperceptible process in which we become closer to the kind of person we wish to be with every tiny, disciplined action. Above all, discipline is an internal choice to turn every idea, goal, and action into a step forward in our own development. When we examine the habits that make up our daily routine, we find that a large number of them are unconscious and stem from automatic processes. They were molded over time, maybe without our complete knowledge. Discipline serves as a technique for mental reconditioning in this situation. It helps us identify these trends and, more significantly, empowers us to alter them, because it feels like we engage a kind of superpower that propels us toward our objectives when we are able to form habits that support our progress. Understanding that every disciplined decision, no matter how minor, sets us free is one of the many advantages of cultivating this ability. It allows us to say no to things that are not necessary and to diversions that divert us from our course. And the core of the inner strength we want is this freedom. Few people achieve the level of maturity that comes from mastering the urge to act on instinct, controlling fleeting desires, and concentrating on a larger goal. It is a skill that endures, because discipline produces consistent results every day, despite potential ups and downs. Additionally, this regular practice eventually becomes instinctive. We frequently find ourselves mired in justifications, thinking that we are overburdened by demands from other sources, or that we simply do not have the time. However, discipline demonstrates that we may influence our world by making minor adjustments every day. Getting up early is an excellent illustration of this. Many people may feel that getting up an hour earlier is a sacrifice. However, making one small choice every day frees up time for self-care, whether it is reading, meditating, or planning your day. Discipline-driven, these early minutes have the capacity to change the remainder of the day. And when you do this repeatedly over time, your life actually changes. Nevertheless, discipline is not something that is acquired quickly. It is a slow process in which you gradually develop inner power. And since we are battling ingrained patterns, it is normal for us to have challenges at first. Each deliberate decision is a blow that eliminates superfluous, exposing the best version of ourselves. It's similar to carving a statue. This process has a significant impact on our most fundamental characteristics, such as our innate urges and desires. And that is exactly why it is transformative. Each day we select the discipline brings us one step closer to conquering ourselves. Discipline is similar to training in many respects. It gets easier the more we practice. It takes work, commitment, and perseverance, and at first it can be draining. However, it gradually becomes a part of us, influencing our attitudes and ideas in a way that seems almost natural. We reach levels of consciousness and self-mastery that we previously believed were impossible because of its transforming potential. It is a tool that enables us to create a life that is in line with our desires, free from the influences and diversions that are always trying to pull us in other directions. An ancient practice that goes beyond the physical realm and explores our mental and spiritual selves in great detail is seminal retention. It symbolizes a path of introspection and internal control, where we discover how to direct one of our strongest forces toward more noble goals. We can achieve much more vitality, greater mental clarity, and a closer spiritual connection to the cosmos by preserving and transforming our sexual energy. Anyone looking for genuine personal improvement must comprehend the science and philosophy underpinning seminal retention. Sexual energy is a potent creative force that powers our goals and accomplishments in addition to procreation. By choosing to conserve it, we are learning to intentionally guide it rather than suppressing a natural part of our existence. This exercise shows us that real strength comes from controlling our urges and harnessing them to increase our creativity, willpower, and sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. Seminal retention has amazing physical benefits. Numerous practitioners describe feeling more energized every day, performing better physically, and feeling rejuvenated altogether. This happens because the body may use this critical energy for other vital functions, which promotes health and vigor when it is conserved. However, the effects are not just bodily. Clarity of cognition becomes more apparent in the mental realm. The capacity to concentrate increases, the mind clears up, and thoughts become easier to arrange. This mental clarity is a useful tool for confronting daily obstacles and pursuing our objectives more forcefully. On a spiritual level, seminal retention opens the door to a closer relationship with the cosmos and oneself. The benefits of this practice as a way to reach higher states of awareness have been acknowledged by numerous spiritual traditions throughout history. We develop an inner discipline that enables us to reach deeper levels of our existence by controlling our most primal urges. Increased intuition, a better comprehension of life's purpose, and a feeling of unity with the whole are some ways that this enhanced connection can show up. It is crucial to comprehend the transmutation process in order to appropriately channel this energy. The technique of sexual transmutation involves transforming sexual energy into other types of energy, including spirituality, motivation, and creativity. This means intentionally rerouting our urges rather than denying or repressing them. This energy can be effectively channeled through techniques including breathing techniques, meditation, and creative endeavors. We are focusing our life force on creating something significant by doing things that push and motivate us. A fundamental tenet of this path is self-awareness. The first step to inner mastery is self-awareness, or knowing your own limitations, triggers, and tendencies. With this knowledge, we may create individualized plans to promote seminal retention in a sustainable and healthful manner. This entails identifying temptation triggers, comprehending the reasons behind particular urges, and establishing surroundings that reinforce our goals. Practice is about growth and dedication to oneself, not about perfection. Internal control is just as important. Our culture continuously promotes instant gratification, frequently at the expense of a higher goal. Gaining self-control over our urges is a difficult but very rewarding endeavor. Instead of being influenced by fleeting desires, this enables us to behave in accordance with our beliefs and objectives. This process can benefit greatly from the use of mindfulness and meditation practices, which can assist to fortify the mind and keep attention on the important things. Addressing the methods and exercises that aid in mastering this energy is also crucial. To enhance physical control, use pelvic floor strengthening exercises in your routine, such the well-known Kegel exercises. The benefits of seminal retention are enhanced and supplemented by regular exercise, a nutritious diet, and a balanced lifestyle. Additionally, techniques that help people succeed on this path include creating self-care routines and scheduling time for introspection. Seminal retention is a component of a collection of behaviors and mindsets that foster spiritual and personal development rather than a standalone activity. We are committing to a journey of continuous evolution by incorporating it into our life. Although this dedication calls for self-control, endurance, and patience, the outcomes are incredibly life-changing. Benefits to the individual are important, but so are the ways in which this internal change enhances our interpersonal interactions and how we engage with the outside world. It is normal to encounter difficulties and roadblocks during this journey. Moments of uncertainty and potential relapses will occur. It is crucial to keep in mind the overarching goal that directs us throughout. These times, every obstacle we overcome fortifies our resolve and advances us one step closer to our objectives. It can be encouraging and motivating to share experiences with those who are on the same journey. Discussion boards and communities offer a secure setting for information sharing, accomplishment celebration, and support for one another. Seminal retention is essentially a technique that encourages us to take charge of our own life force. It is an exhortation to live more intentionally, guiding our deeds in accordance with our innermost goals and ideals. In addition to pursuing personal growth, we are making a positive impact on a more connected and mindful world by starting this journey. Every action is an expression of respect for who you are and the limitless potential that each of us possesses. Anyone who wants to make real progress in their personal development must comprehend the close relationship between the mind and body. Just as our physical condition affects our mind, our ideas also determine our physical world. This relationship is reciprocal, with one factor having a significant influence on the other. As we gain a deeper comprehension of this, we see that balancing these two aspects of ourselves is the key to realizing our full potential. Techniques like visualization, meditation, and mindfulness are effective means of enhancing this bond. By practicing mindfulness, we teach the mind to be totally present in the here and now, examining feelings and ideas objectively. By removing us from automatic thought processes, this complete awareness enables us to respond to life's circumstances with more consciousness. This process is further enhanced by meditation, which offers a place of inner silence where we may clearly monitor our thoughts, lower stress levels, and encourage equilibrium and serenity. In turn, visualization is a method that makes use of our imagination to affect both our internal and external states. Our subconscious receives strong signals when we visualize our objectives and ideal conditions, and it starts to work to make these visions a reality. Because our ideas and mental images directly affect our emotions, and in turn, our physical state, this activity strengthens the mind-body connection. On this path, conscious breathing is another essential component. Our mental and emotional states are reflected in and influenced by the way we breathe. We have a tendency to breathe shallowly and quickly when we are nervous or agitated. We can create states of calm, mental clarity, and energetic renewal by paying attention to our breathing and using deep, regulated breathing practices. Mastering breathing gives us a strong tool to control our interior states, since it serves as a bridge between the mind and body. Our physical and mental well-being are directly impacted by positive mental moods. Joy, thankfulness, and love are examples of emotions that elevate our vibratory frequency, bolstering our immune systems and fostering overall well-being. However, unpleasant emotions like fear, grief, and anger can weaken our bodies and increase our vulnerability to disease. Developing good ideas and feelings is a tactic for preserving optimum bodily health as well as psychological well-being. We establish a condition of balance that promotes discipline and seminal retention by balancing the mind and body. We have greater internal resources to sustain the discipline required on our trip when our body is healthy and energized, and our mind is clear and focused. A high level of self-control is necessary for seminal retention, and internal balance strengthens this self-control. This balance is greatly aided by daily routines like meditation in the morning, deliberate physical activity, and times for introspection. We create a favorable atmosphere that affects everything we do later in the day when we begin it with a clear head and a rested body. Additionally, even in the midst of pressures and obstacles from outside sources, maintaining this state of harmony can be achieved by setting aside time throughout the day to reconnect with yourself. It's also critical to acknowledge that each person's mind-body relationship is distinct. What is effective for one person might not be the same for another. Self-awareness is therefore essential. You can create a customized routine that suits your unique needs by trying out various methods and activities and seeing how they affect your inner state. To put it briefly, we can access a higher state of consciousness and self-control by exploring the relationship between the mind and body in greater detail. This broadened state of being enhances many facets of life in addition to promoting discipline and seminal retention. We grow stronger, more sympathetic, and more purpose-driven. Along the way, we not only better ourselves, but also have a great impact on people around us. In contemporary society, pursuing the path of self-mastery frequently places us at odds with ingrained ideas and social standards. Instant gratification, the constant pursuit of fleeting pleasures, and unrestrained indulgence are all highly valued in our society. It might be difficult to maintain focus on more ambitious personal goals that call for patience, self-control, and resistance to daily temptations in our culture of immediacy. When we decide to go against the flow, we have to deal with both outside forces and the introspection that comes with questioning the status quo. For us to continue on our path of spiritual and personal development, we must overcome these detrimental forces. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is one of the best tactics. This entails looking for companions who have comparable ideals, who support us in pursuing our objectives, and who recognize the value of self-mastery. It also entails ingesting information that stimulates our minds in a positive way, such motivational speeches, enlightening podcasts, and inspirational books. By creating an atmosphere that supports our beliefs, we make it easier for us to withstand outside influences. Another essential step is to set up appropriate boundaries. Even if it involves facing social discomforts, this may entail saying no to individuals or circumstances that divert us from our course. It's critical to keep in mind that safeguarding our mental and emotional well-being is an act of self-care rather than selfishness. By outlining exactly what is and is not acceptable in our lives, we fortify ourselves against forces that can weaken our determination. By setting these boundaries, we can prevent distractions that can jeopardize our development and keep our attention on the important things. Have you ever had the feeling that something prevents you from realizing your full potential in spite of all your efforts? As if there were an imperceptible wall separating your current location from your desired one? We'll look about how discipline and information retention can be the key to overcoming these obstacles in this video. Find out how gaining complete control over your energy can improve your spirit and change your daily life. Prepare yourself for a voyage of self-discovery that may fundamentally alter the way you live and engage with the world. First, though, I have some unexpected news for you. From the Gods of Semen channel, I'm Leert, and I'm here to share something that has the potential to completely change your life. The Semen Retention Success Path is the ultimate manual you've been looking for if you're prepared to change your reality and increase your energy to previously unthinkable heights. I researched the 6 most important key retention issues and put them together into a 2-hour audiobook that is jam-packed with insightful knowledge for your growth. Get ready for an unconventional voyage of self-discovery and personal development. Imagine regaining your vigor, developing deeply and permanently, and discovering a vast amount of vital energy. This audiobook is a master key that unlocks doors to a new degree of achievement and fulfillment, not merely a source of knowledge. There's more. A 30% discount on my special ebook, The Art of Semen Retention for Men, which is more than 20 pages lengthy, is yours when you buy the audiobook. Strong methods for your spiritual growth, personal development, emotional equilibrium, self-awareness and self-improvement, spiritual connection, and life purpose will be taught to you. My goal is to assist individuals in realizing their own potential. With great pleasure, I now present our channel's new members tab. You have the chance to become a great supporter and receive exclusive privileges along with some exclusive YouTube advantages. Your involvement will serve as a powerful incentive to add additional news to the channel. Don't pass up this opportunity to change your life and join a group of people who are committed to spiritual and personal development. Come along with us on this path to satisfaction and self-mastery. To overcome the difficulties that come with this journey, it is imperative to develop a robust mindset. Resilience is the capacity to grow and learn from hardship as well as to withstand it. This entails adopting a constructive mindset towards challenges, viewing them as chances to improve our character and get a deeper understanding of ourselves. We can strengthen our internal resilience and become more capable of handling both personal and social challenges by engaging in practices like gratitude, regular introspection, and deliberate optimism. It takes bravery and tenacity to stand by our convictions. People who chose less traveled routes are frequently questioned by modern society. But it is in these decisions that we discover our actual strength. Knowing that we are living in accordance with our innermost values and goals is the source of true power. External opinions can no longer deflect us when we align ourselves with our core. Even when everything around us seems to be challenging, this inner security serves as a beacon to help us navigate through the storms and stay steadfast. The fact that many of the most significant historical personalities defied the conventions of their era is encouraging. They ran across opposition, criticism, and occasionally even persecution. But what made it possible for them to leave a lasting legacy was their steadfast belief and dedication to their principles. By reading these tales, we are inspired to keep going on our own path because we understand that obstacles are a necessary component of the road to self-mastery. In the end, swimming against the stream presents a challenge as well as a chance to renew our dedication to ourselves. Our resolve and confidence are strengthened with every challenge we face. It is reassuring to know that this trip takes us closer to our genuine selves, even though it can be lonely at times. By remaining loyal to ourselves, we not only provide an example for those who might be going through similar struggles, but we also help to build a culture that celebrates individuality and development. Thus, it is crucial to keep in mind that seeking self-mastery is an act of bravery and self-love. It's about deliberately choosing how we engage with society, not about rejecting it. We establish the conditions required to thrive, even in the face of hardship, by maintaining our focus on our individual objectives, surrounding ourselves with uplifting people, establishing sound boundaries, and developing a resilient mindset. Thus, we gradually create a meaningful, fulfilled existence that is in line with our values. Success stories have the capacity to ignite a fire within of us, encouraging us to believe in the capacity for personal growth that each individual possesses. We discover that obstacles can be surmounted and noteworthy accomplishments are within our grasp when we hear the accounts of others who have pursued the route of groundbreaking discipline and retention. These stories demonstrate to us that we are not alone in our difficulties, and that even seemingly insurmountable challenges can be conquered. One such example is Hoao, who made the decision to take charge of his life after years of being ruled by negative habits and desires. He first encountered challenges when using the Seminal retention technique, including persistent temptation and a lack of support from his social network. But he persisted because he was determined to become a better version of himself. Hoao observed that his energy, mental clarity, and focus on his career and personal goals had significantly increased over time. He explains that the basis for this change was discipline, which enabled him to break bad habits and create wholesome ones. The tale of Lucas, who battled a lack of drive and purpose, is another inspirational one. He looked for seminal retention as a means of reviving his life because he felt stagnant. Daily self-care routines and meditation helped Lucas focus his energies on artistic endeavors that had previously seemed unattainable. He highlights that overcoming periods of uncertainty required the assistance of a community with shared objectives. She received support and realized that obstacles were a normal part of the process of progress by interacting with people who had similar goals to her own. These narratives emphasize both the successes and the challenges encountered during the journey. These people's success was largely attributed to tactics like having clear goals, pursuing knowledge, and developing reliable routines. They demonstrate that transformation takes time and requires consistent work and commitment. We learn from hearing these experiences that everyone who is prepared to make an investment in themselves can experience transformation. We can gain important insights on how to apply these principles to our own lives by connecting with real-life experiences. These tales serve as a reminder that even though the journey may be difficult, the rewards are worthwhile. Priceless benefits include a sense of accomplishment, boosted self-esteem, and a clearer sense of purpose. By telling these stories, we hope to uplift and encourage people and strengthen the idea that anyone can change their life with self-control and discipline. To put it briefly, success tales serve as windows into our own potential. They inspire us to keep going even when obstacles appear insurmountable. We acquire knowledge and the drive to keep going on our journey by taking inspiration from the experiences of others. Every action we take puts us one step closer to reaching our full potential, and transformation is a reality that is achievable. The real transformation of knowledge into power occurs when theory is put into practice. For the benefits of discipline and seminal retention to completely materialize, they must be experienced on a daily basis. They should not be confined to the realm of academia. 2. Make long-lasting improvements and advance our degree of self-development. We must include these practices into our daily routine. A vital first step is to establish routines. Establishing a daily routine that aligns with our objectives facilitates the integration of new routines and fortifies self-control. This could involve scheduling certain times for reading, working out, meditation, or any other activity that fosters personal development. A well-thought-out routine lowers the chance of us straying from our objectives and keeps us focused. Additionally, by regularly doing our planned tasks, we bolster our self-assurance in our ability to maintain self-control and dedication. Another essential component is establishing specific goals. It is simpler to map out the route to success when we are clear about our goals. These objectives ought to be time-bound, meaningful, quantifiable, achievable, and explicit. Well-defined objectives provide us focus and enable us to objectively track our progress. For instance, rather than establishing a general goal like, "I want to be more disciplined," we may set something like, "Practice meditation for 20 minutes every morning for 30 days." Keeping track of progress is essential for sustaining motivation and pinpointing areas that require modification. Using monitoring apps or keeping a journal can be quite beneficial. We can reflect on the journey and acknowledge minor accomplishments along the way by documenting our progress, difficulties encountered, and related emotions. Additionally, by identifying recurring patterns and barriers, this practice helps us put more effective tactics into place to overcome them. It can be difficult to stay motivated over time, particularly in the face of setbacks or depressing circumstances. Linking our daily activities to our overarching goal is a useful strategy. Reminding yourself frequently of the why behind our objectives strengthens resolve. Visualizing the intended outcomes and constructive changes that will transpire in our life as a result of accomplishing these objectives can also increase motivation and persistence. Keeping the spark burning can also be achieved by surrounding yourself with positive influences, such as motivational podcasts, books, and individuals who hold similar ideals. Overcoming obstacles is a normal aspect of the development process. When we make a mistake, it's crucial to take a learning position rather than blaming ourselves or giving up. We can create more effective future plans by analyzing the factors that contributed to the relapse, recognizing triggers, and comprehending the emotions involved. Self-compassion is crucial. Acknowledging that everyone has difficulties and that development is not linear keeps us resilient and upbeat. Flexibility and emotional intelligence are demonstrated by modifying tactics as necessary. Every individual has different requirements and situations, so what works one time might not work another. We can modify our action plan to better achieve our objectives and get beyond certain challenges if we are willing to attempt new methods, strategies, and practices. This could entail altering your daily schedule, looking for fresh information, or even getting expert advice. This useful manual provides specific instructions for applying fundamental discipline and retention to your daily life. Make a thorough plan by outlining your objectives and the actions required to reach them. Add any anticipated difficulties as well as resources that might be useful. Create a strong morning routine, engaging in mental and physical strengthening exercises, meditation, or reading. First thing in the morning can have a favorable impact on the remainder of the day. Practice giving your whole attention by being present at all times. Being fully conscious makes it easier to identify impulses and react to them deliberately as opposed to reflexively. Develop good habits. A healthy diet, enough sleep, and regular exercise fortify the body and mind, laying the groundwork for discipline. Locate a support group. Making connections with people who have similar objectives can provide mutual accountability, encouragement, and experience sharing. Continue your education by reading books, taking classes, and attending workshops that expand your knowledge of discipline, fundamental retention, and personal growth. Develop self-pity and self-awareness by making time to consider your feelings, ideas, and actions. Recognize your driving forces and acknowledge your accomplishments. Establish statements and reminders. To stay focused, employ technology or visual aids. Positive remarks fortify resolve and reaffirm the subconscious. Steer clear of triggers and distractions. Recognize what can pull you away from your objectives and establish a supportive atmosphere that restricts unneeded exposure to harmful influences. Regularly assess and make adjustments by considering what is effective and what needs. One step closer to achieving our goals. The journey is so meaningful and satisfying because of this constant pursuit of growth. When we are deeply committed to our values, Taking on new tasks with assurance comes naturally to us. Long-term discipline offers us the strength to confront the future with the knowledge that we possess the inner resources to overcome any challenge. In addition to helping us, this internal security encourages others who might be struggling with their own fears. Constant practice benefits the community as much as the individual. We promote a climate of mutual support and collaborative growth by sharing our knowledge and experiences. Our viewpoints are broadened and we are linked to a higher purpose by this enlightening interaction. By working together, we can build a network of individuals dedicated to achieving personal success and building a better society. The path to self-improvement and self-discovery is a never-ending journey filled with obstacles and rewards. Every step presents us with worthwhile lessons and chances to develop into more complete and genuine versions of ourselves. The secret to living a meaningful and full life is to embrace this adventure with passion and commitment. Human potential is genuinely limitless as long as we are dedicated to our own development and keep an open mind. Let's keep going down this path with grit and happiness, enjoying every victory and growing from every setback. Real strength originates within, and by developing it, we light the path for everyone we encounter along the route. Have you ever been caught up in a pattern that seems to keep you from doing all that you know you're capable of? As though, in spite of everything you've done in your life, something was always lacking. Don't let the demands and distractions surrounding them deprive them of their full potential. You hold the key to a profound metamorphosis. Please subscribe to the channel, and watch the next video we have planned if this one spoke to you. Let's walk the path together to the spiritual and personal fulfillment you are due. To be changed, a crucial component of ongoing development is adaptation. By putting these techniques into practice, we turn our intentions into deeds and create routines that foster our spiritual and personal growth. Being disciplined becomes more than just a habit. It becomes an integral aspect of our identity. The idea of seminal retention is no longer abstract. Rather, it is organically and harmoniously integrated into our daily lives. It is crucial to keep in mind that every journey is different. It's okay if what works for one person doesn't work for another. Being patient with oneself, staying dedicated to one's own development, and realizing that progress is composed of steady little steps are crucial. Each endeavor helps to build a better version of ourselves, and the long-lasting changes occur gradually. In addition to making progress on our own journey, using the notion has a positive impact on people around us. Our internal metamorphosis is manifested in our words, deeds, and enthusiasm, motivating others to pursue their own personal growth. As a result, we help create a world that is more harmonic, balanced, and conscious. Maintaining the progress made is just as important as starting the journey. Continuous impairment and adaptation are necessary to maintain discipline and continue to reap the rewards of long-term seminal retention. We may adapt our strategies to new situations by regularly reflecting on our practices, which keeps us focused on our objectives. Confidently taking on new difficulties is a crucial step in this process. As we develop, we encounter circumstances that put our resolve and fortitude to the test. Perceiving these obstacles as chances for improvement enhances not just our own personal progress, but also has a good impact on others around us. Our tenacity and commitment serve as motivation, demonstrating that it is feasible to remain steadfast in pursuit of ongoing progress. The dedication to ongoing development entails accepting the notion that the path of self-discovery is an unending process of learning and development rather than a goal. We may broaden our perspectives and gain a deeper understanding of ourselves by being flexible and open to change. This growth attitude keeps the fire of self-control and discipline burning brightly by ensuring that we keep reaping the rewards of our labors. To sum up, consistent practice not only supports our personal development, but also has a beneficial effect on those around us. We inspire others to start their own self-development journeys by setting a positive example of discipline and seminal retention. Therefore, maintaining the progress made is essential to living a complete and meaningful life, where personal development is an ongoing and fruitful endeavor. We recognize that every day offers fresh chances to improve and advance when we continue to be dedicated to our own growth. Our resolve is strengthened by consistent discipline and seminal retention, which also helps us better grasp the world and ourselves. Because of this unwavering commitment, we are able to face difficulties with greater composure and assurance. understanding that every difficulty we overcome advances us in our quest for self-control. Personal gains are not the only reason for this perseverance. We have a beneficial impact on others around us when we live up to the values we embrace. Our behaviors and dispositions encourage others to follow their own self-discovery journeys, resulting in a cascade of growth for the group as a whole. It is amazing to see how a person's change may have a big influence on the community and foster a disciplined, respectful, and ever-evolving culture. An essential component of this process is adjusting to new situations. Since life is ever-changing, it is essential to be able to modify our methods and approaches as necessary in order to keep making progress. This does not imply that we should compromise our values. Rather, it means that we should be adaptable in our approach, coming up with fresh approaches to implement discipline and seminal retention in various settings. This flexibility strengthens our resolve to develop and keeps us ready to take on any obstacles that may come up. A vital component of sustaining the gains made is ongoing reflection. Setting aside time to assess our behavior, ideas, and feelings enables us to pinpoint areas for development and acknowledge our successes. This exercise helps us continuously match our decisions with our innermost desires and keeps us conscious of our progress. Additionally, it fosters a closer bond with our core selves, enhancing our self-awareness and self-assurance. The dedication to continuous improvement is a never-ending source of inspiration in and of itself. Being aware that there is always more to discover and opportunities to improve keeps us interested and passionate about life. Every new skill we learn and every realization we get enhances our lives and moves us.